In today's video, we're going to be going over the top 10 military vehicles in Grand Theft Auto Online. To get on this list, vehicles must be based on a real-life military counterpart and be somewhat decent in GTA. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new, as only 25% of you watching this video are, and let's get started. Up first, we have the Chernobog for $1,125,000 if you have the trade price, or $1,500,000 if you don't have the trade price. The trade price for the Chernobog is unlockable by completing the Doomsday Heist setup that features the Chernobog as a leader. Now, unfortunately, the Chernobog has absolutely no armor. However, it does have the longest lock-on range of any vehicle or thing in GTA Online, meaning that it is pretty excellent for air defense. It spits out 5 missiles with some of the most aggressive tracking in all of GTA Online, and it makes taking out aircraft pretty simple. However, certain planes, if flying fast enough and with enough maneuverability and a good pilot behind them, will still be able to avoid these missiles. The Chernobog is an absolutely excellent military vehicle though, and they did reduce the price on it to only 1.5 mil if you don't have the trade price back in April of 2023, making it a lot more affordable and enticing for players to pick up. The Chernobog is awesome, it's a lot of fun. You can use the turret as a solo player by getting in the driver's seat and deploying the stilts and then getting into the back seat, and you will get access to the missile launcher. It's absolutely awesome. You definitely got to try it out at least. Up next, we have the Rhino tank, an OG GTA vehicle going for $1,500,000, and it's going to be a Pegasus vehicle exclusively, meaning you cannot store it in a garage or a facility or anything like that. You're going to have to request it from Pegasus every time you want to use it, and for that reason I kind of don't recommend it, but it is a really cool military vehicle. Armor wise, it can take up to 4 homing missiles or 4 RPGs or up to 9 explosive rounds. Now, the gun does reload on this thing pretty fast, and if you have a co-pilot or a secondary player in your Rhino tank, they will get access to the 50 cal mounted on the roof. It's a really cool vehicle, but honestly in 2026 it is super outdated. But how could I make a military vehicles list without including the Rhino? I think that would be unfair. Moving on, we have the HVY APC for $2,325,000, and that's if you have the trade price. Now, if you don't, it's going to be $3,092,250, and that trade price is unlocked by completing the corresponding Mobile Operations Center mission that features the APC. Armor-wise, this thing can take up to 8 RPGs or 8 homing missiles, or up to 19 explosive rounds from a heavy sniper Mark II. The APC is a really cool vehicle. It is a 4-seater, and a fun feature about the APC is that if you're in the driver's seat, you can switch to the passenger seat without having to get out of the vehicle, and the passenger seat is going to allow you to operate either the top-mounted cannon or the SAM battery that is an upgrade for the APC. The third and fourth players that are going to sit in the back of the APC get access to machine guns that are side-mounted that deal an okay amount of damage, but they're probably not going to take out vehicles very quickly. The APC is also amphibious, meaning it can drive on land, and it can go into the water, and it can cross large bodies of water like the Alamo Sea or little rivers, and it can go out in the ocean. It's pretty cool. However, it does come at a bit of a cost, and that is going to be in the top speed because it maxes out at 63 miles per hour when fully upgraded. So it's really, really slow, but it is a pretty cool vehicle, and you don't see this one much in online anymore. Up next, we have the Eberhard Titan 250D, which was added not that long ago, and it's going for $3,652,500 if you have the trade price, or $4,870,000. And the trade price for this thing is unlocked by completing the Titan job from the Oscar Guzman Flies Again missions. This thing's pretty cool. The pilot obviously controls the Titan 250D, but they can also get access to the 40mm gun, which is mounted to the side of it. However, if you have a gunner, they will get access to not only that 40mm gun, but the 25mm autocannon and the 105mm cannon as well. Armor-wise, this thing is an aerial tank. It can take up to 12 homing missiles or 12 RPGs or up to 28 explosive rounds. This thing is obviously based off of the absolutely famous AC-130, from Call of Duty specifically, but it is a real life plane as well. Titan 250D is definitely a really cool plane to have. Not exactly the most useful, but it certainly is a ton of fun. Moving on to number 6, we have the TM02 Kajali, going for $2,895,000 or $3,850,350 if you don't have the trade price. Now that trade price is unlocked by completing the setup mission for the Doomsday Heist that features the Kajali as a leader. This thing's absolutely awesome. It takes up to 8 RPGs or 8 homing missiles or up to 19 explosive rounds. The main weapon can be upgraded from a regular cannon like the Rhinos to a railgun that can charge up, and it gets a little bit more range when fully charged. The secondary passenger gets access to the roof-mounted 50 cal, and the third and fourth passengers get access to the upgradable grenade launchers that are mounted on the rear side of the turret. This thing's a beast. It's super good at taking out players that are on the ground and cops. However, it is pretty weak to aerial vehicles, so keep that in mind. Up next, we have the DH7 Iron Mule for $1,758,750 or $2,345,000 if you don't have the trade price. That trade price is unlocked by completing the Iron Mule sourcing mission in the Oscar Guzman Flies Again setups. Now, the Iron Mule has no offensive capabilities whatsoever. However, it is a military vehicle being based off of the CH-153 King Stallion. Armor-wise, it can take up to 6 homing missiles or 6 RPGs or up to 14 explosive rounds, and it can pick up a lot of vehicles in GTA Online, and furthermore, it can pick up a lot of sail vehicles in GTA Online as well. Now, if you want to know more about this specifically, I do have a guide linked in the description down below, so check that out if you're interested in speeding up some of your sail missions. At number 4, we have the HVY Insurgent Pickup Custom going for $1,998,500. This thing can be upgraded from the regular Insurgent Pickup, which is a Pegasus vehicle, to the Insurgent Pickup Custom through the back of an MOC or an Avenger through either of those vehicle workshops. The Insurgent Pickup Custom gets a sleuth of upgrades from armor plating to full performance upgrades, and when this thing's fully upgraded, it tops out at 98 miles per hour. And armor-wise, it is absolutely insane. It can take up to 27 homing missiles, 9 RPGs, or 23 explosive rounds. It seats up to 9 players, and there's a top-mounted minigun or 50 cal on the roof of this thing that a player can operate. And if you have the bunker research unlocked, you can also drop explosive proximity mines out of the back. The Insurgent Pickup Custom is one of my favorite vehicles in the entire game. It's absolutely insane. It's a blast to drive, and it looks incredible. Up next, we have the FH1 Hunter for $3,100,000 to $4,123,000. The trade price is unlocked by completing 42 air freight cargo sourcing missions in the hangar. It's based off of the Apache AH-64D in real life, and the pilot gets access to a 7-missile barrage, as well as fully spammable homing missiles, and it has bombs as well. The gunner gets a rapid-firing explosive autocannon that will one-shot unarmored vehicles and players at incredible ranges. It's also one of the fastest helicopters in the entire game, topping out at 154.25 miles per hour, which is going to allow you to cross the map pretty damn quick. At number 2, we have the Akula for $3,375,000 to $4,500,000 if you don't have the trade price. That trade price is unlocked by completing the Steal mission for the Akula through the Doomsday Heist as a leader. Armor-wise, it can take up to 3 homing missiles or 3 RPGs, or up to 7 explosive rounds. With a top speed of 157.25 miles per hour, it can also seat 4 players inside and has a toggleable stealth mode, which will remove you from the minimap or the expanded map entirely. The pilot can control bombs as well as dual-mounted machine guns, and your choice of homing missile pods or barrage pods with 4 missiles. The co-pilot gets access to the bottom-mounted machine gun that can be upgraded to a dual machine gun if you want to. Now, before we get to number 1, we have some honorable mentions. First of them being the B-11 Strike Force for $3,800,000. This thing has a 163 mile per hour top speed with extreme maneuverability, and it is the most well-armed plane in Grand Theft Auto Online, featuring an explosive cannon, a 7-missile barrage, homing missiles, and bombs. Now, the other cool thing about the B11 is that it dramatically slows down the closer to the ground that you get to give you more time to line up your shots. Armor-wise, it's an aerial tank as well. It can take up to 6 homing missiles, or 2 RPGs, or up to 5 explosive rounds. It's based off of the A-10 Thunderbolt in real life, which is an absolutely iconic plane, and in GTA, the cannon sounds exactly the same as the real-life one does. The only problem is it doesn't deal nearly as much damage. For another honorable mention, we have the Western Annihilator Stealth for $2,902,500, and that's if you have the trade price. If you don't, it's going to be $3,870,000, and the trade price can be unlocked by using the Annihilator Stealth as a leader in the Cayo Perico heist. Armor-wise, it has no explosive resistance, other than to the explosive heavy sniper, in which it will take 2 shots from, so not exactly armored. It can seat up to 6 players, which is pretty cool, and some of which can rappel out of the helicopter if they're in the rear seats, and that is a very cool feature. It has a top speed of 149 miles per hour, and it has the exact same stealth mode system that the Akula does, in which you can toggle on or off, and this will remove you from the minimap and the expanded map as well. Pretty cool helicopter. It's just not nearly as good as the Akula, but it does have some unique features to make up for it, I guess. Still, I don't really recommend it, to be honest. And for an honorable or maybe dishonorable mention, we have the Kurtz 31 patrol boat for $2,216,250, or $2,955,000, which is crazy. The trade price can be unlocked by using the Kurtz 31 as a leader in the Cayo Perico heist. Now, I figured I should include a boat on this list, and I didn't want to be basic and go with the Kasatka, so here we are. I want to make it clear, I do not recommend the Kurtz unless you have incredible amounts of excess money, because it's honestly pretty terrible. Armor-wise, it can take 1 explosive heavy sniper round. Anything else will destroy it in 1 shot. It has a top speed of 36 miles per hour, which is extremely slow for a boat. On the front of the boat, it does have a dual 50 cal, which is pretty cool. And on the rear of the boat, it has a singular 50 cal as well. The Kurtz is definitely pretty sweet, but it's just simply not worth the amount of money that it is charged in order to buy it. Still, cool vehicle. But at number 1, of course, we have the F-160 Raju. Could have probably predicted that from the jump. For $5,141,250 to $6,855,000. The trade price is unlocked by completing On Parade, which is a mission in the Avengers Operations Terminal. This thing has a 232.5 mile per hour top speed, making it the fastest plane in GTA Online, and it also is the fastest accelerating plane in GTA Online as well. It has VTOL mode, which is super great for landing and taking out targets in hard to reach places, as well as a stealth mode function that operates the exact same as the Akula and the Annihilator Stealth, meaning it takes you off the radar entirely and the expanded map as well. You get access to homing missiles as well as dual explosive cannons with this plane. You get access to homing missiles and dual explosive cannons with the F-160, and it has extremely good maneuverability and pretty good handling as well. Overall, it is probably the most dangerous vehicle in the entire game. So there you guys have it. Those are my picks for the top 10 military vehicles in GTA Online in 2026. Let me know what you thought of my list. Let me know if you think I missed anything in the comment section down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, dislike if you didn't. Consider subscribing if you're new. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care. Peace.